Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 17, which is entitled as Shraddha-traya vibhāga yoga, the three types of faith. Sloka 4. Yajante sāttvikā devān, yakṣa-rakṣāṁsi rājasāḥ, pretān bhūta-gaṇāṁś cānye, yajante tāmasā janāḥ. The topic that we discussed in Sloka 2 and 3 is further elaborated here in the fourth Sloka. In the second Sloka, Krishna said Shraddha of three kinds: sāttvikā, rājasāḥ and tāmasā. And in the third Sloka, Krishna said, based on the result that one attains according to their Shraddha, the faith, the Atma is identified. Sāttvika Atma, Rājasa Atma, Tāmasa Atma. In other words, the Atma is of that Shraddha. In this Sloka, both what we saw in the previous two slokas, are further elaborated. Based on one's Shraddha, they worship certain ways to certain person. If I have a ruchi to become a football player, my Shraddha, which is born of that ruchi, is going to drive me towards that. I will have the pictures of some great football player around my room. I will have articles which is closely connected to remind me of that particular great player. I have books about him, his biography. I hear about him. I watch about him. Likewise, if I want to become a singer or a businessman, I choose and pick one who specializes in that field, who becomes my favorite personality, and literally start worshipping that person. Prabhupada in his purport says that a man in Kolkata during the Second World War was worshipping Hitler. Sometimes we also see there are people who worship the movie actor or actresses. They go to an extreme of even building temples for them. And it is not a joke, it has happened. Why do people do all such things? Because they know that person whom they are worshipping is much more skilled than them, and the worshipper want to attain that particular state. We know that in India, one of the famous game that everyone, most of them watches, get involved is cricket. And the children, youth, they all play cricket, and they get so much involved in the game that even while walking, while talking, they do certain action, even sometimes without their knowledge, like as if they are throwing the ball or striking the ball, by remembering someone whom they like in that field and try to imitate like that person. Now let's take a different scenario. If a person who is in Sāttvika guna, then that person worship those who have more Sāttvik guna than him. If a person is of Rajoguna, then he will start worshipping one who has more Rajoguna than him. Likewise, if someone has Tamoguna, that person start worshipping those who have more Tamoguna than him. Why one does like this? Because one want to fulfill their desire. A Sattva-guna person worships to fulfill his desire. Therefore, he worships another Sattva-guna person who has more Sattvam than him. A Rajoguna person worships to fulfill his desire, and likewise a Tamoguna person worships to fulfill his desire by worshipping who has more tamoguna than him. Whom does he worship? Whom does the sattva-guna person worship? Whom does a rajoguna person worship? And whom does a tamoguna person worship? That is what been elaborated in this sloka number 4. Now let's see the meaning of the sloka. Sāttvikā janāḥ, those who are type of mode of goodness, sāttvikā guna, devān, the demigods, yajante, worship. Rājasāḥ janāḥ, though the sloka does not have janāḥ everywhere, it just mentioned at the end of the sloka, yajante tāmasā janāḥ, that janāḥ has to be included into each of the other gunas. And this is allowed in such cases to make the meaning of the sloka understandable. Rājasāḥ janāḥ, those who are type of rājasa, mode of passion, yakṣa-rakṣāṁsi, will worship the yakshas and the rakshasas. One may ask, really? Does someone even worship the yakshas and rakshasas? If someone is asking such question, we should know that person is surely has some sattva guna, then rajoguna and tamoguna. Otherwise even that question won't come in one's thought. But the answer is yes, there are people who support persons like Ravana and they even worship Ravana as their hero. Likewise, Hiranyakashipu. They support Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and they speak against Rama and Narasimha by placing some weird arguments. So whoever has whatever guna that is prominent in them, they worship respective person or personality who are prominent in that guna than the worshipper. Anya tāmasā janāḥ. Further, those who are in type of mode of ignorance, tāmasā guna, pretān, the ghosts, bhūta-gaṇāṁś, and also the hosts or spirits of the dead. Yajante, worship. Again, is this all true that people worship ghosts and spirits? Answer is yes. There are mantras, tantras, black magic. Those people do some special kind of puja during Rahu Kala, Yamakanda, Amavasya or Paurnami. They pick places like crematorium. They use the skulls and ashes. In the middle of the night, they perform some puja, fire sacrifice, inviting the spirit, the dead ones, capture them or try to control them and make them do certain activities to kill one's enemy or to torture one's enemy. These practices are there. Sometimes even they try to do all these things so they can get some power, mystic power. With that mystic power, they can do some magics, attract people, or produce certain things to have more audience, by which they can make money, name, and fame in the society among such people who are of same nature. One may ask a question, what about those who are devoted to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna? Will these things affect them? If anyone does any of these black magic to a devotee, will that impact the devotee? Answer is, does not. Those who are devoted to Krishna has a complete understanding and lives in that consciousness that Krishna is my mean and goal. Krishna is my master, I am a servant. Krishna is my guardian. Krishna is the owner, Swami, and I am his servant. Krishna is my father, I am his son. Krishna is everything for me. I have no one else other than Krishna to save me. I have no other methods or means to attain Krishna other than Krishna himself. Such devotees does not need to worry or afraid of any of these things, as these evil spirits or any people who perform such low activities will not be able to harm the devotees of the Lord. But if our faith, our Shraddha in Krishna is weak, we doubt His grace, we doubt Krishna's position, His strength, if we think Krishna may or may not pay attention to me, may not save me, having any little bit of doubt in Krishna's potency, then we will get impacted. Therefore, those who have less or no faith in Krishna must watch out and be careful on these sort of things. But those who have complete faith in Krishna, if they see a cut lemon with kumkum on it lying somewhere near their house, or a pumpkin, or any other such articles, as none of those things will have any effect, there will be zero effect on a devotee. We learn this from a beautiful story in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Durvasa Muni invoked a evil spirit to attack the great devotee King Ambarisha, but that had no effect on King Ambarisha. Rather, it was Durvasa who had to go through a serious consequence for such an unacceptable act towards a great devotee of the Lord. Now let's see the translation. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. In our next session of the Sloka, we will learn whom they worship, why they worship, and what is the result they obtain by such worship. Yajante sāttvikā devān, yakṣa-rakṣāṁsi rājasāḥ, pretān bhūta-gaṇāṁś cānye, yajante tāmasā janāḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.